Hi, good afternoon. This is Jasmine, and this is my channel, Sober and Fabulous. So today, I want to share with you a project that my therapist had me do. So we've been talking a lot about forgiveness and how that looks, who I feel like I need to forgive, and I've always felt like I needed to forgive myself for things that I did in my past. But now I'm realizing that I think it's more accepting what I've done in my past and moving forward. So I wrote a letter to myself to, I didn't actually know where I was going to go with this letter or what I was going to do. I'm going to pull it up. It's just kind of free wrote when I started. And I did it on Friday. Sunday I revised it. And then yesterday she and I talked about it. So I've emailed it to myself so that I can have my cat meow at me so I can read it daily if need be. Okay, here we go. Let me pull it up. I think it's healthy. I've written letters in the past for other reasons to people. You don't have to send those letters. Something I did recently that was really therapeutic was I wrote a letter to my ex when I was really angry, and then I burned it. And let me talk about therapeutic. And we did that when I was in aftercare as well. We did it was a group therapy session, and we drew pictures. We had journal entries or things that, we picked something that was upsetting us, and I picked my relationship with my father. And then we built a fire and we burned. We talked about what we were burning. It was very therapeutic, very releasing. So here's my letter. I want to share it with you guys, and bear with me. Dear Jasmine, I want you, let's see, okay, this is okay. I want you to know that everything is okay. Actually, it's better than okay. It's great. What you lived through as a child was bad and horrific at times. I am not a magician nor a time traveler, and I cannot go back in time to erase those travesties. It didn't make any sense then, and it doesn't make any sense now. As you grew, you were challenged in how to handle yourself, and that is okay. You went through so much and had no guidance on how to process anything or how to move forward. You did the best that you could, and sadly, you found that using alcohol and drugs was a way to numb the pain that you had experienced. Throughout your adulthood, you would try to come to terms with your past. You went into therapy many times. You quit drinking and using drugs many times. You thought being in a relationship with someone would heal some, if not all, of the lack of self-love you possessed. Many relationships failed, and then you met Josh. He was a hot mess himself, but there were so many commonalities that you two shared. Having a relationship that involved communication was what you both learned from each other. At the age of 42, you had had enough with alcohol and drugs, and you admitted yourself to a rehab facility. You were ready to heal and break down the many giant walls that you had spent years securing around yourself. I am happy to report to you that as of today, you are 1 year, 6 months, and 25 days sober. You found your inner strength in becoming sober and finally talking about what had happened to you when you were little. Your father was not a good man, and he hurt you in a way that no man should ever hurt a child. He tainted your view of yourself, your womanness, your feminine beauty. But you have learned to accept that yes, this sadly did happen, but it does not define who you are. You have learned to love and respect yourself. So much so that you had to tell Josh, someone you thought you could spend the rest of your life with, that he had to go or stop using drugs. He chose to go, and that broke your heart. But it was the first time in your life that you stood up for yourself, and that power has continued to grow inside of you. Your heart is still healing from the loss of your relationship, and then you know that as more time goes by, it will hurt less. You chose yourself, and your self-respect and self-love enveloped you in a way you never knew possible. You are strong and so beautiful. Every session of therapy since going into rehab has been driven by you. You are driven by the knowledge that you can heal and you are healing. You live in the present now, and occasionally you venture into the past. It comes up sometimes in therapy and sometimes throughout the day. But it doesn't hold you down anymore. You're not stuck wondering, why me? Every day, you wake up and you're happy and grateful for all that you have. You start each day with affirmations reminding you that you are more than enough and that you are in control of your life. You work in education now. And you have a wonderful job at a high school helping shape the minds of the youth. You come home feeling good about yourself and not physically and mentally exhausted. You go to sleep at night with ease, and if there is a struggle, you turn to meditation or yoga nidra meditation to help you fall asleep. You have recently gotten off of a prescription medication that was not good for your body, and you are feeling so much in control of what goes into your body. The desire to stop drinking was lifted from you months after rehab, and the desire to use drugs was lifted a few months ago. Some hard things have happened to you since you got sober, but not once have you contemplated using or drinking as a way to handle or deal with those issues. I am so very proud of you and all that you are, and all that you are accomplishing. You are a force to be reckoned with, and at the same time, you are a calming and soothing energy. You're a force to be reckoned with, and at the same time, a very calming and soothing energy exudes from you. People notice that and enjoy your company. You are so confident, and this has been in you for a long time, but now that confidence has weight behind it. You believe in yourself, and that shines through. You set goals and have new ideas often. One of the goals you're working on is going back to college to get your undergrad so that you can become a teacher. You've applied to Frostburg State University and are working on applying for scholarships. You're an amazing woman, and I love you so much. Right now, you are really working on your inner dialogue and making it more positive and encouraging. I know that every day it gets stronger in a sense that you are empowering yourself now, not beating yourself up. You're an artist and you love to paint. You love to draw and write. Many people have said to me in my life, I wish you could see yourself as I see you. And I feel like I am finally seeing that woman. For a long time, I've been thinking that I needed to forgive you, but the more I think about it, the less I feel that way. You have made some bad decisions, and you own that. You're not afraid to tell the truth and admit when you do something wrong. That is a great quality, and you have many great qualities. You're kind and fair. You are thoughtful and respectful of others' feelings. You're sincere and loving. And now you're being all those things to yourself. I want you to read this letter every morning for at least 6 months, because I want you to know how special you are and how loved you are. You're special to me, and I love you. There's nothing we cannot do together. All my love, Jasmine. So I wrote this letter, and rereading it boosts my confidence. And what it really helps with is the inner dialogue, because like I said, that's what I'm working on right now. And my inner dialogue has been really rough on me. I can come off being positive. I can think positive thoughts about everyone around me, about my life, but that inner dialogue, that voice inside my head, when I look in the mirror, when I do something, when I trip and fall, when I make a mistake, it is so quick to just snap judgment. And I want to change that. I don't want to be constantly critiquing myself in such a negative way. I don't think there's anything wrong with corrective criticism. And in fact, I embrace it. I have since I was little. And I attribute doing theater to a big reason as to why I handle it so well. It's there, as it's called, corrective criticism. It's there to correct you. It's there to make you better. And what I don't need to do to myself is just be critical. And I have been. I do sometimes. I just went for an affirmation drive. So if I'm off, like today we had a snow day. Usually I do my affirmations in the morning when I'm getting ready. But if I have a day off, I'll go for a drive and put the affirmations on YouTube and repeat them in my car. It's a nice, relaxing, like half an hour that I spend with myself. And I was criticizing first another driver, and then I feel like once that criticizing starts towards anything or anyone, it's very easy for it to stay inside my head and then become critical of myself. So I'm really working on my awareness of that, being aware of when I start to become critical and stopping it, and realizing that, like, what's the point of being critical? First of all, I'm in my car, they're not hearing my criticism, it's only affecting me. So that's a big thing that I'm going to work on, and I have to work on it every day. I have to work on accepting what happened to me every day. I feel like my therapist and I have talked about radical acceptance, and it doesn't take away from like the hurt that you went through, the trauma, the pain, anything like that, but it's accepting that it happened and moving on. And I do that every day. I feel like I'm really proud of myself for not being stuck in the past, because that's where I was leading up to rehab. Coming down off of alcohol and drugs would get me so low. I would have dreams about my childhood. I would have dreams about trauma. I wouldn't know. I was getting worried that I wasn't going to know what was reality and what wasn't. And it was just constantly the why me question. I can't answer that. No one can, in fact. But what I can do is empower myself and better myself, believe in myself, love myself, respect myself. Like I talked about what happened between Josh and I, that was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. And I'm happy to say that he's sober now. That hurts, but that was his own journey. This is my own journey. And I realized what I missed the most in our relationship is just I lost my best friend. I lost someone that I confided in, that I shared my, happiness with, but I also shared what scared me, what frightened me. But I still have an amazing best friend. It's my roommate who I live with, and then I have an amazing therapist, and it's about quality and not quantity. I realize I've gotten in touch with friends. I didn't follow through, and it's nothing personal. I'm still just working so much on myself that I'm not ready to go out and be social all the time. I'm not ready. I'm just not ready for that. And when I'm ready, I will be ready. I don't have to apologize to anyone. I don't have to explain myself. This is my journey, and this is how I choose to do it. Like I said, I'm going back to school. I've already put things into place, so that's exciting. And I'm just going to continue to better myself. I'm going to continue to work on what benefits me. And I think that is something that all of us should take into consideration. Is this good for me? Is it benefiting me? And really evaluating what those benefits are. Like going back to school, that's going to benefit me in a way for me to accomplish something that I've wanted to do for a long time and did not do when I was younger, which is getting my undergrad. It's going to allow me to get a different position within education where I'll make more money, and I think I'll be able to buy my own house, have that security of, obtaining things for me, and not living in this grandiose world where I'm going to make it rich quick. I've never felt that way about myself, but I have interacted with people that do. And that's great if it happens, but the reality is that it's most likely not. And I'm okay with working hard to get where I want to be. I may not make a lot of money right now, and I'm okay with that because I'm very happy with my job. And I have security in having health benefits. I have security in that I'm building a pension so that I can retire one day. And that feels good. That feels great, actually. And I know that anything could happen. I could have to start over tomorrow. And that's okay. I had to start over almost 2 years ago. And I have done it before in my past. There's nothing wrong with starting over. There's nothing wrong with deciding that the career you're in is not what makes you happy. We're in control of who we're with, what our job is, and where we live. Only you can change that. And right now, I'm single, I'm happy. I love where I live. I love my house. I love my roommate. And I love my job. So, I mean, there are many other things that I'm working on. And just to have those three things, though, in line with myself, with feeling good about myself. I love myself. I respect myself. And that feels really amazing. And again, it's a work in progress. It's not every day that I'm sitting here praising Jasmine, but it's more often than not. And what's the point in sitting here criticizing myself over and over? How is that going to change things? I actually do better in a job when I have positive reinforcement and I am reminded of my attributes and told when I do a good job that you did a good job. So I want to do that for myself, and I'm really grateful that at work I have that. I don't have to ask for it. I don't have to seek it out. My the people that my supervisors, the people above me, they recognize that and they tell me when it's appropriate to tell me, and that is encouraging. I feel like that's how you get good productivity out of your employees, is to remind them how grateful you are of them and to remind them of the good things that they do. We might be aware of it, but again, that positive reinforcement is just so important. And I want to have that for myself. I didn't have that for myself for a very long time. And I'm capable of having that for myself, which is really exciting. I have, heard about and thought about the idea of being my own personal cheerleader, told myself I was going to do it, and then I never followed through with it. And now I'm doing it, and it feels great. It feels fantastic. I hope that, what I've shared with you today, I hope that resonates with you. I hope that if anything, it helps you heal. That's what I feel like my purpose is here on this planet, is to help others heal as I heal myself, and sharing what we've been through, sharing our struggle, but also sharing our accomplishments, and even day to day what we do, how we handle ourselves. I think that's important in sharing. So I wish you a wonderful afternoon. If you have any desire to quit drinking or quit using drugs, I strongly encourage you to reach out to someone or go to an AA or NA meeting. You will meet some of the kindest, most non-judgmental people you've ever met in your life. They will help you get the help you need. I also encourage that if you feel like you need to talk to a therapist, please reach out to someone. Even if you need to talk to a friend in order to get you the step in the right direction, please do that. I found my therapist on psychologytoday.com. We do our sessions online. It's absolutely fantastic. I don't have to leave the house. And I feel like I'm getting the same, if not better, therapy than I ever have in my life. So I wish you a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon.